Long ago, in a time of war and fear, a young girl listened to God's voice, and it changed a nation. This is the story of Saint Joan of Arc, a brave girl who trusted God completely, even when others doubted her. Her life reminds us that no one is too small or too young for God to use in great ways. In the quiet countryside of France, there was a little village named Domrémy. Children laughed and chased one another near the fields. The church bells rang across the hills. And among them was a kind-hearted girl named Joan, who helped her parents and tended the family sheep. Joan was cheerful, hardworking, and loved to pray. Every morning she greeted Jesus with a smile and thanked him for the new day. Even though her country was at war, Joan trusted that God was still in control. One warm spring afternoon, while Joan prayed in her father's garden, a soft light surrounded her. It was brighter than the sun, but gentle, filling her heart with peace. From within the light came a calm and noble voice. It was Saint Michael the Archangel.
Joan, the Lord has a mission for you. Be brave, and he will help you.
Oh, Saint Michael, I am only a poor girl. How could I do anything great?
God chooses the humble, Joan. Trust him, and he will give you strength.
When the vision faded, Joan felt both amazed and afraid. She kept what she saw deep in her heart and prayed for courage to do whatever God asked. Days later, two more saints appeared, St. Catherine and St. Margaret. Their faces were kind and their voices were full of love. They told Joan to trust what she had heard and to obey God's call. Joan listened carefully. Each time the voices came, she felt her heart grow stronger in faith. From that day on, Joan promised God she would do his will, no matter how hard it might be. She did not know how it would happen, only that God had asked, and she would say yes. As Joan grew older, the voices told her it was time to act. France was in danger, and she must go help the prince, called the Dauphin. That's a special French word meaning the one who would become king. So Joan left her home and traveled far to meet him. When she arrived, the prince and his nobles laughed.
What can a young girl do?
They asked. But Joan looked him in the eye and said,
I come from God, and he will give France back its freedom.
Her courage touched the prince's heart. Soon, Joan rode at the head of his army, wearing shining armor and carrying a white banner with the names of Jesus and Mary. The soldiers followed her, not because she was powerful, but because she believed.
She's only a girl. How can she lead us?
Not by my strength, but by God's.
With Joan's faith and bravery, the city of Orléans was freed, and the Dauphin was crowned King Charles VII. But Joan's victories brought her enemies. Before long, she was captured and taken far from home. They locked her in a dark prison and tried to make her say she had lied about hearing God's voice. Yet even there, Joan stayed peaceful and brave. She prayed for hours each day, asking God to forgive those who hurt her. Though she was tired and afraid, her heart stayed full of love for Jesus. She remembered St. Michael's words,
Be brave, and God will help you.
At her trial, Joan spoke clearly and truthfully.
I have done only what God asked of me.
The judges grew angry, but Joan did not take back her words. Finally, they condemned her. But she did not lose hope. As the fire was lit, Joan looked up to heaven and whispered,
Jesus, Jesus.
And when the flames rose, a gentle light filled the sky, for heaven was opening to welcome her home. Joan's courage shone brighter than the fire itself. Her heart belonged to God until her very last breath. Many years later, the church declared her a saint, Saint Joan of Arc. She was only 19 when she died, but her faith still inspires people all over the world. Joan teaches us that true courage comes from trusting God, even when others do not understand. Like her, we can listen for God's voice in prayer and follow it wherever it leads. May Saint Joan of Arc help us to be strong in faith, brave in love, and faithful to God in all things. Saint Joan of Arc, pray for us.
Bright morning light so pure and warm. Saints walk beside us calming storm. With hearts of gold and love so pure, growing in faith they'll help us for sure. With hearts of gold and love so pure,